WDTN, the station that's working for you. This is 2 News Now.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us, or rejoining us, I should say. Welcome in. Welcome back to 2 News Now for this very special series of shows all about live coverage of this weekend's winter storm. We're showing you the WDTN 2 News patio right now. You can see, I guess, Avery's what was she was trying to spell out WDTN, wasn't she, exactly? So we can still see that a little bit there from where she was trying to work. We've been keeping an eye on those conditions all morning long. I am your host, Alexis Bellamy. I am sitting across from 2 News anchor Lauren Wood. Lauren, so happy to have you in.
Yeah, 7 hours now. We have been following
Does
the
it feel
storm.
like it to you?
That it's been 7 hours? Yes.
Yeah.
How about you?
It is a little bit, but this is important, keeping you guys up to date, letting you guys know exactly what is happening outside, staying weather aware. That's all we're doing today. So as we said, 2 News Now is doing things a bit differently as we are breaking down this live coverage. Before we begin, we're jumping into some developing news into our newsroom just a little bit ago. We have an update on that deadly pedestrian strike from earlier, you guys. Authorities say that around 11:35 this morning, officers were sent to St. Paul Avenue on reports of a crash, Lauren.
Officials then confirmed that a private plow company was clearing a private lot when that snow plow backed over an employee. That employee was then taken to the hospital but died from their injuries. The crash is still under investigation.
And while we are working to learn more about this incident, we will continue to provide you those updates on air and online, and of course on that 2 News app. You guys, 2 News is continuing that coverage of this weekend winter weather. So jumping right back into what we've been talking about, we know Montgomery County is under a state of weather emergency until Monday at noon. 2 News Now has been bringing you the latest on the hour every hour starting at 9. And like Lauren said, we're going to continue to go up until 7. Storm Team 2 meteorologist Cameron Saliga. We've had Steam Team Steve Norris on as well, giving us those updates. And I said it earlier, Cameron, but record-breaking is the word to describe the weather that we've been looking at all morning since last night.
Yeah, for the day here, it's obviously broken a record. We're at 10.7 inches at the Dayton International Airport. We'll see if we'll get any update here in the future about, exactly the accumulation. But we're closing in on the 12.2-inch record. There's 17 inches of snow, though, on the ground at the Dayton International Airport. Outside right now, we do have that winter storm warning in the entire Miami Valley until Monday in the noon hour. Looking at live Doppler 2HD, you could actually see it on our tower cam that we took earlier in the show. It was coming down here at the station, and that's because we do have a heavy band pushing on through places like Springfield, Xenia, Urbana, Dayton as well, southern parts of Montgomery County, Centerville. You can see some of that right there in Dayton, Springboro, and Fairborn, Springfield as well, and Urbana. Looking at it long-term, though, you can see it's still off to the west. We still have some heavy snow that is going to be moving in. We could still see about 2 to 3 more inches, maybe even an area picking up 4 additional inches from what we have currently. But outside right now, we are seeing some breaks. That's a good news, as we've seen over the past couple of hours, just a few breaks. Snow forecast here in Dayton, 12 to 16 inches, 10 to 14 going further up to the north. Most of it has already fallen, though, as we've gone through the morning and midday. Future track here as we get into the evening hours. You can see that chance of some heavy snow does continue as we go into the 4 and 5 o'clock hour. We'll continue to see that snow until about 7 p.m. That's when it starts to move on out of here. We'll still see some drifting snow, though, and wind chill is going to be well below 0 going through the next couple of nights. Dayton International Airport, there's 17 inches on the ground, but there's 10.7 inches of snow accumulation. Inglewood, right around 11, 13.3 in Kettering, and we did even have one in Kettering up to 14, so that is right around the top for the area. Riverside, 12, that's a foot at WDTN, almost a foot in Beaver Creek, and as we get into, my thing's not working, so... Well, here as we go through the daytime, we are going to continue to see about 2 to 3 more inches in the Miami Valley, so we are tracking that. And, I think it works now. There we go. So snowfall falls so far in Trotwood a foot, Miamisburg a foot as well, Kettering 14 inches. That does take the cake for the most of the area. You can see the on and off snow as we went through the morning, midday, and now into the afternoon on the Troy Souter Center time-lapse camera. Becoming a little bit more scattered. There's a little bit more breaks in between the heavy snow, I should say, as we've gone through the afternoon. Right now in Dayton, 14 degrees, a dew point of 9, winds at about 13 miles per hour, so the wind chill is at 0. We'll have 4 to 8 by the dawn hours, widespread heavy snow, and we'll still see some of that heavy snow as we go early into the nighttime. Tomorrow, 7 degrees the high, and we are going to be seeing the chances of snow dwindling here as we get into the evening hours. And again, outside right now, seeing a big wall that's about to surge into the area.
All right, Cameron, I was thinking this earlier when you started, but my favorite, I'm not sure if anyone here knows this, my favorite color is actually pink. I like it a lot less when I look at the forecast, when I see all of it, like the whole area covered in pink, which means light snow, essentially, right? Isn't that the color coordination
Well,
for
pink is more of a wintry mix.
Oh, okay.
And then there's
Either
some
way.
sleet, there's some freezing rain further to the south, but not here.
Either way, I just don't love what pink means when I see it on the forecast. But we'll be checking back with you in just a couple of minutes for another look at what is happening as we make our way through this weekend. Thank you, Cameron. Well, again, talking about those record-breaking everything, temperatures, wind, and cold here in the Miami Valley, of course, but in other parts of the country. Right now, around 190 million. We're sure that number is going to continue to grow, but that's more than half of the U.S., and they're under that winter weather alert. That's more than or around 37 states. That's from the Rockies to New England, who are really feeling this.
And we know that flights have been delayed all across the country. I believe over 11,000 flights have been canceled. Definitely not a day you want to be either on the roads or in the air.
Exactly. And we are looking at things still here at home. Several county sheriffs have declared snow emergencies. Montgomery County has declared a local state of emergency. Now, listen to this. We've got several counties coming up: Clark, Champaign, and Mercer County. All on level 3 snow emergencies, you guys. And we're going to break down exactly what that means and why that's something you guys should care about here in just a little bit. For now, Preble, Warren, and Wayne. Wayne is currently under a travel advisory. Champaign or Green, Dark, Clinton, and Auglaize in Miami County, all those level 2 snow emergencies. And Logan County has also declared a level 1 snow emergency. And Shelby now, the only county to not have a snow emergency in effect. Governor DeWine declared a state of emergency, which really just means he's directing the agencies, local agencies, to provide really as much support and resources to local jurisdictions as they can, which is something we know is key, Lauren.
It's important to keep in mind what those snow emergency levels mean. If you're at a level 1, use caution. Level 2, only be out if it's necessary. Maybe contact your employer, see if you need to report to work. And finally, those level 3 snow emergencies that Clark, Champaign, and Mercer County are under, that means that all streets are closed to all non-emergency personnel, and you can face legal action if you are out on the roads.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of who does need to be out on the roads, you guys, the plows, when you see them, make sure you're giving them space. But another question people have as we make our way through this weekend is, when will my road be cleared? So let's break that down a little bit further. ODOT is actually responsible for interstates along with U.S. and state routes outside of municipalities being taken care of. Cities and villages are in charge of U.S. and state routes along with local roads inside of those city limits. Finally, counties and townships prioritize local roads. In fact, we're going to be sitting down in just a few minutes with 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh. He's spoken with someone with ODOT for a little bit more information today, and we're really keeping our eyes on that, exactly what is happening outside. So we're going to turn now and take a look to the roads outside. Lauren, we've been talking about them, what's happening, how to stay safe, what not to do. We're in live drive now. Let's see, where are we headed at?
Springboro Pike in Miami Township. You can see things there are not looking great.
I was going to say, describe that for us, Lauren.
Can't really see much pavement there. And this is really what we're seeing all over the Miami Valley right now. We saw last hour downtown Dayton, some of those main arteries, you could actually see pavement. I feel like that was the first time we'd seen pavement in hours. Caleb kind of showed us that. So that was some good news. We know that their city of Dayton is focusing on the main arteries first before the residential areas. Most of today has just been trying to play keep up with the storm because they plow it and then it gets covered again. I'm really interested in our next guest and their perspective because Brian Davis just drove into work and he's going to be telling us about the same route that I'm going to be taking home in a couple of hours. So I really want to know what your roads were like, Brian.
Well, they weren't the best. Let's put it that way. The hard part was getting out of the driveway. I mean, I've got 12 and a half inches of snow, so I had to work on getting that taken care of, trying to shovel it because the snowblower wasn't working.
Oh, no.
So that was a little bit of a workout. And then getting the car cleaned off. I had a 4-wheel drive, so we'll get in with that. But it had a nice coating of snow on it as well. Once I got to the main roads, Stroop coming in was, not great, but there's nobody out there. So a lot of the 2-lane roads are 1-lane roads, and you just got to take your time. Don't be in a hurry. Try to get the car cleaned off as much as you can, and just be patient, and you can get in there okay. You can see those ODOT cameras right now. Nobody's going to be moving fast on those roads.
Nope.
I know we're talking about an unprecedented amount of snowfall. If you weren't Brian Davis, chief meteorologist, and you didn't know that this was an unprecedented amount of snowfall, would you have felt that driving in? Would you have thought, wow, this is worse than I've ever seen it?
Well, not on the roads, but you look off to the side, it's like, well, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
So it's starting to almost look like a canyon on some of the roads when you're driving through. So that would let you know that we've had a lot of snow. I saw some people out there with their snow blowers, their shovels. I'm seeing snow getting piled up 4 or 5 feet high by the side of the driveway. So, yeah, we had a big snowfall. It's definitely showing up. Right now, we're still tracking some more snow. We've had a little bit of a lull this afternoon, but the snow's going to pick up. Right now, it's a little past 4, and it looks like up through about 7 o'clock, we're going to see additional accumulation. We're probably talking 2 or 3 inches, nothing real major here, but probably won't even notice it unless you're out on the roads. They get covered up a little more.
Yeah.
But a little bit more snow coming through, and then things will get better after that.
So my last question to you, Brian, before we let you go, is did this exceed your expectations? What was this about what you were anticipating?
Well, the last forecast I had was on Thursday night, and I said double-digit snowfall was going to be a possibility.
Okay.
That's where we are. I've seen all kinds of reports. We'll get the official snowfall from the Weather Service later today. But right now, about 13 inches on the ground at Dayton International. The problem is you get to this kind of a powdery snow, and the snow keeps piling up on it. You get some compression. So you can get another inch of snow, but the total snow on the ground may only go up a half inch or 3/4 of an inch.
All right. Well, thank you for telling, I guess, Lauren what she can expect on her drive home here in a little bit, Brian.
Not looking forward to that one.
Yep. I hope you've got good traction going up Stroop Road.
We're going to try.
Fingers crossed. Thank you, Brian. All righty. Before we jump in and talk to 2 news reporters, Sartaj Singh, Lauren, we've been talking to a lot of people, a lot of professionals, the experts about exactly what is happening outside. And while they all, have different points, different areas of focus, it seems like the main thing here, stay inside and stay home. Yeah. Just to stay off of the roads, let the plows do their job here, which is really keep those roads safe.
Absolutely. And that from the people who have had to be out, it sounds like the roads are pretty empty, which is definitely some good news. That's what we need to be seeing right now.
And I'm sure people are probably looking at that and thinking, hey, the roads are empty. No one is out on there. Now is my chance. No, it is not. It is your chance to stay home, especially like Lauren, we've been talking about all day, all morning, all afternoon long. If you're in those level 3 counties that you're not allowed to be on the roads, essentially. That's the important part. Okay, so I hinted at it earlier. 2 News reporter Sartaj Singh has been talking to these professionals today, and that's what he's working on. So, Sartaj, good morning. Thank you for being on in here. Happy you could make it with the way things are outside. So what do people have to tell you? You talked with someone from ODOT today, right?
Yeah, that's correct. I did talk with someone from ODOT today, and they say all throughout the state of Ohio, it seems like it's almost a different thing in each section of Ohio. And the main thing, though, that they're really worried about is these cold temperatures. The snow is the snow, but the thing about this snow is that it's a little bit lighter than usual, so it'll easily blow onto the roadways, and that might cover the salt. But that's the one thing about those cold temperatures that they're worried about is that the salt activates when it's over 20 degrees in temperature, but now that it's getting lower and lower, that salt won't activate. So that's their main concern as they move forward.
So we could be looking at days of issues even after the snow stops falling from the sky.
Yeah, unfortunately. And they expect to be completely working around the clock into the work week, too, because those cold temperatures just continue into the work week as well. And talking with ODOT as well, they did mention to me that they have had some reports of cars crashing into their workers, their plows and stuff like that. There's no details in terms of like how severe that crash was, but they did tell me that they've already had over 30 crashes this year, just in general with ODOT. So they're just adding to that total in just one day. They want to remind drivers, make sure you drive slowly. And these people are just trying to clear the road for you. So make sure you give them ample room to work.
And we can see that here on our screen.
Yeah.
Our director has pulled up, a map, and thankfully people seem like they're Sartaj doing what they're supposed to be and not being on those roads.
Yeah,
here.
that's actually, they told me the number one thing you can do to make sure that you're safe. Stay home. Just do not go outside. Stay home and make sure you allow the ODOT crews, and not only the ODOT crews, but city crews, county crews, to do their job in making sure to clear these roadways, because these conditions, like you mentioned before, they're just going to continue into the work week. So the main challenge, once again, they said, is these cold temperatures. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do, because they do have a beet heat mixture too, as well as brine to try to activate that salt. But once again, the best thing to activate that salt is a little bit higher temperatures.
Yeah.
So that's their current challenge right now.
I know we just are looking at the OGO map, which tells us kind of what's going on in the Dayton area. We have that one incident
we got
marker
an
there north of
exclamation
Dayton.
point.
It's a weather incident. It says the road is restricted. I-75 northbound. The left lane is blocked on 75 north beyond State Route 4.
As of just a minute ago, you guys.
Presumably
Just
because
happened.
of the weather. It says, so I don't believe it's not citing a crash.
Yeah,
it
we
is
can't
just saying the
see it.
incident type is weather.
Yeah.
So it may be because of that blowing and drifting snow, like you mentioned, or just snow piling up there in that left lane. But it's the left lane blocked on 75 north beyond State Route 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We'll
one
keep
thing
an
they
eye
want to
on.
remind people once again is that these driving conditions, don't expect it to be overnight. It's going to be better. It's going to continue into the work week. It's going to continue well into the work week, actually. So just remember, drive slow, change your plan. If you have to go somewhere, allow for extra time.
Yeah, we know that'll impact schools and everything else as we make our way through. We have already announced our Dodge that, several Krogers have decided to close at the end of the day, too, as a result of this weather. So it's impacting a lot here. Thank you, Sartaj.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so we're going to be close to wrapping things up here for our final, or one of our end of the day looks here at 4:23, showing you our ODOT cams again, seeing a few people out on the roads, but thankfully it looks like not too much. I mean, I can't imagine that there would be a lot of people out here, Lauren, trying to get to where they need to be. But it does look like at least people are taking it slow.
You can see one semi on 75 at Benchwood. That is one thing that I have found interesting all day. That semi traffic that we usually see very heavily through the Miami Valley, there are hardly any even semis out there, which is that is very
really
unusual
something.
around here.
Where is this? This is 675 at Shakertown, and I'm just really in awe that there's no cars on the road. There is nothing there, which is, of course, is a good thing. We hope more and more roads look like that. We're going to take a final look now at our conditions here at home. Cameron Saliga is joining us for a final look at what to expect. I mean, I guess we cannot reiterate this enough, Cameron. Record-breaking everything, which means stay inside, stay safe, prepared, and stay warm.
Yeah, we thought we were breaking a record a few hours ago, but they have clarified that it's actually at 10.7. But it looks like with the bands that we're currently seeing move on in, we'll probably pass the 12.2 mark. That was set back in 1978 from the Great Blizzard there in the Buckeye State. You can see the snow's coming down heavy as we go into the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to see some heavy snow for the next couple of hours. We could see about 2, 3, maybe even 4 inches in some areas of additional snowfall as we go into the evening hours. It's also breezy, one winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour, so you can see the American flag there blowing in the distance. And there are those snow-covered roads. It looks like people are getting there. It looks like A-OK at this moment. Storm on the Goodwill Auto Auction camera in downtown Dayton. Also seeing snow. We're seeing this last push before we start to dry it out. Those visibilities have really come down over the past couple of hours as that heavy snow moved in. Springfield seeing a good amount of snow. We actually saw an ODOT camera where you couldn't even see any of the cars on the roads because that's how heavy that band was coming down. 0.8 miles of visibility in Springfield, 1.5 in Urbana, and you're not really going to get over 2 miles of visibility here today. Take it easy on the roadways if you have to be out. If you don't, then probably just stay inside. Here as we go into the evening hours, there's going to be a continued surge of this heavy snow, and maybe just stay inside. Watch a movie. Football games are on as well, but here in the Miami Valley, we are seeing that heavy snow right around Springfield, down near Xenia, Springboro, Piqua. We're seeing some lighter snow up further to the north, but Greenville and Arcanum also seeing some snow, but again, not looking like it's super heavy on Live Doppler 2 HD. Precip chances really taper off going into the nighttime. We should be drying out here tonight by about 7 p.m., so that's when the roads will start to stop taking on all of the snow but we will start to see some drifting snow overnight as the winds pick up as we go through the next couple of days. We are going to see the chance for that drifting snow. Wind chills well below zero. We're going to have wind chills of about 10 to 20 below zero at times in the next couple of days.
Now, Cameron, one thing you said, stay in and watch a movie. I will actually take this time to remind people, instead of a movie, Bridgerton Season 4 is just a few days away. So if you guys don't have anything to watch, maybe take this time to rewatch Bridgerton Season 3, 2, and 1 so you are prepared for this new season on the 29th.
Or binge watch one of your old shows.
Yes,
that too.
You can. I know our producer, Maddie, would agree with me on rewatching your Bridgerton, so that's something to do to stay safe as we are making our way through this winter weather. Cameron, thank you.
Yep.
Alrighty, before we close things out here at 426, take a look. We're showing you our live cam, our tower cam, Land of Illusion. And this whole ordeal is really just an illusion. At least it's what it feels like, Lauren. I mean,
I know you said
beautiful.
It didn't feel real to you, right?
It does not. This whole thing I just was standing there. I'm like, this is crazy that I'm standing around this much snow. It's scenic, though. It looks very pretty.
Very pretty. It's going to get very real for both of us when we go back out on the roads to get home, right?
Oh, my gosh. That's when the show should really kick up, getting home. Alrighty, it is 4:27 now. We're going to take another break, and we will see you guys back here in 30 minutes, keeping these live updates and all of this coverage, the news that you need, coming to you. We'll see you back here at 5:05 on 2 News Now.